with wars, famine, and destruction relentlessly unleashing themselves on a once innocent world, it's hard not to wish for a paradise filled with peace and prosperity. Amid the chaos, we ask ourselves, how did we end up in this heap of madness? Concealed beneath the pages of the ancient script we believe to be true lies, a question that might debrief everything we've ever known. What if Adam and Eve were never tempted to eat the forbidden fruit? Being the first people on earth, Adam and Eve found it difficult to stray away from Satan's sweet words and false promises. That sin led to eternal damnation that affected not only them, but all the succeeding generations of humankind. Without hesitations, God banished them from paradise. But that's not all. They each received punishments they would unfortunately bestow upon their descendants. Yet we question, were they fair? For Eve, she would bear the pain of childbirth and swear submission to her husband. For Adam, he would suffer the hardships of labor and be a provider to his family. Because of their unlawful act, humanity would know about death instead of immortality. But what if Adam and Eve just obeyed God's orders and spent their day like usual?
Today's video is sponsored by Video CEOs, your solution for engaging video content. Say goodbye to boring videos. With Video CEOs, conveying your ideas is seamless and effective. Whether it's for education, entertainment, or conversions, our video subscription service ensures your message connects with your audience, no matter your industry. Visit videoceos.com to learn more. Now, let's get back to the content.
The answer might look simple, but there are deeper meanings to it, sparking debates among believers you have yet to know. If Adam and Eve hadn't sinned, they would continue to live in the Garden of Eden. They would live their lives blissfully, enjoying all the things paradise had to offer. They wouldn't have to work all day in the fields just to put food on the table. But more than that, according to one religious text, they wouldn't have children. The verse says, "And they would have had no children, wherefore they would have remained in a state of innocence, having no joy, for they knew no misery, doing no good, for they knew no sin." It's quite unnerving to know that your existence wouldn't have happened if Adam and Eve just followed God's orders. Yet consider this. Life in paradise could have been stagnant and monotonous for both of them. Moreover, while immortality sounds appealing, think about what it would mean to live the same way forever. Living endlessly in a cycle may not be as tempting as it initially appears to be. If Adam and Eve were never tempted, they wouldn't have known good from evil. In Genesis chapter 3, verse 12, we can imply that the wisdom of knowing good and evil that they hoped to discover turned out to be a gift of shame and separation. They came to know evil by participating in it. But regardless if the forbidden fruit is eaten or not, Satan would continue to live and spread malevolence throughout God's creations. Evil thrives as long as good opposes it. It's a philosophical paradox that shows how interdependent these two concepts are. Thus, looking at this perspective, Adam and Eve's sin is inevitable. You may wonder, why is it still bound to happen? Picture this. Even if Adam and Eve didn't exist, some believe that someone else is destined to commit the same mistake. Someone else would have disobeyed God. Why? Because, as some proponents argue, it's all intricately woven into God's plan of salvation. This thought-provoking perspective challenges our understanding of free will, divine intervention, and the complexities of religious doctrine. Furthermore, if Adam and Eve hadn't fallen, there would never be progress. Keep in mind that the forbidden fruit holds knowledge. Once Adam and Eve had tasted it, their eyes were open to their imperfections, urging them to seek change. They sought to cover themselves, symbolizing their desire to conceal their vulnerability and protect their dignity. Still, their expulsion from paradise was the beginning of their journey toward independence and the exercise of free will. In a way, it paved the path for humanity's advancement toward civilization and enlightenment. Taking everything with a grain of salt, the story of Adam and Eve's temptation challenges our beliefs and morals. We might see it as the greatest betrayal of God's creations or the greatest escape to freedom and progression. Nonetheless, it's a tale that teaches us about consequences and how one tiny action could ripple throughout the fabric of existence, shaping the course of humanity. Knowledge or obedience? Fate or free will? It's now up to you to decide.